The Nintendo Switch is off to a great start, and the gaming world has spent a ludicrous amount of time talking about Nintendo's newest console. Things do indeed look very bright for Nintendo in their future, but is it possible that we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves? When you take a look at Nintendo's hardware sales over the years, a pattern begins to emerge. Each successive home console selling less than the one before, the one aberration, of course, being the Nintendo Wii, released in 2006, which sold 101 million units, which is kind of crazy. But then things returned to normal when the Wii U only sold 13 million. It's basically been a 30-year downward slide. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Nintendo as much as the next guy, but the numbers don't lie. However, when you look a bit closer at these numbers, something becomes clear. If it weren't for the handhelds, which you can see here, 118 million, 81, 154, 65, which is obviously quite a bit lower, 65 million, still very, very strong. If it weren't for these handhelds, things would be much worse for Nintendo. The fact that these handhelds have defied the expectation that phones and tablets would soon take over has pretty much, it's been kind of the saving grace for Nintendo over the Wii U era. That brings me to a radical idea. Nintendo's best move is to kill the handheld line, to kill the DS line altogether. Now, I know what you're thinking. The handhelds have saved Nintendo. Why on earth would you choose to kill them? To answer that, let's go back to the Switch and it's the success it's seeing here early on. People are really excited for this hardware. It gets people excited, and the opportunity here is unique. Switch is a handheld. It's also a home console, but it's a handheld, and people love Nintendo handhelds. They've always sold well, and we have no reason to think that that's going to change. In fact, let's say as a handheld, the Switch only sells 40 million units. Well, that's still 4 times better than what they did with the Wii U, and they would love, trust me, they would love to have their home console sell only 40 million units. That would be great for them. People love games like Pokemon, Mario, Animal Crossing, etc., on and on. People love taking those games with them. So, in the past couple of days, we have gotten word from Game Freak. They're basically hiring, and the description for the positions that they're hiring describe the project that they're hiring for as an RPG known around the world with cartoonish characters. I wonder what that could be. The project is labeled for home console release, so that means Switch. The only conclusion that you can really draw from these rumors is that the other rumors we've heard about a Pokemon Stars being the third iteration of Sun and Moon seem to be true. It may be another project, but we are getting a Pokemon game for the Switch. Bear in mind that they call it an RPG. That should give us some confidence to say that it's probably going to be a mainline Pokemon game. We're probably not going to see a spin-off like we've seen in other instances. So, this Pokemon game is going to look great if it's on the Switch. It's going to look better than any Pokemon game you've ever seen before, visually speaking. It's going to make the DS and 3DS versions look bad. So now imagine every handheld franchise that you've loved so much on the 3DS and DS. Now imagine that they have home console quality, that extra finish. Imagine that they all get the Breath of the Wild treatment. That is the promise of the Switch, because it's a handheld that looks so much better than the handhelds that you're used to. Where does that leave the 3DS? Well, to me, it leaves it in a very similar place to the Game Boy Advance when the DS came out. It leaves it looking like the old piece of hardware that it is. I truly believe there will be no room for the 3DS once the Switch gets rolling, and that it will wither and die. The only sane thing for Nintendo to do now is to finish all the projects they have in the works for the 3DS and then move all development to the Switch. Marketing this thing as the ultimate take-anywhere gaming experience with all the games you love already on your 3DS and DS, but in stunning HD with the ability to play on your TV is a great proposition that people have already bought into to some degree. But you must keep the games coming. The Switch will dry up just like the Wii U if that happens, if the games stop, which they're not really started all that well yet. Both the 3DS and the Wii U suffered from this trickle of games over the last few years, and this does nothing but bolster the idea that Nintendo must stop dividing itself, cut off the handhelds, and focus only on the Switch. The Switch cannot be allowed to compete with another piece of Nintendo hardware for games in the 3DS. Don't wait. We don't need any more confused consumers wondering if the Wii U is a peripheral for the Wii, or which version of Pokemon to buy. Should they buy it for the 3DS or for the Switch? We need a simplified strategy in regards to these consoles. One hardware, one software you can take anywhere and play. The 3DS is superfluous and it needs to die quickly. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hear that and think, no, not my 3DS, but there are good reasons for this. As I've stated, I truly believe this is the best way to move forward. If you think I'm an idiot, you can comment in the comments below. Just tell me why. Don't just say, you're dumb, and then move on. Give me your thoughts. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, click like. If you loved the video, click subscribe. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.